Welcome, everyone. I'm Commander Todd Bettison, work out of Chief Craig's office, and I welcome you all today to the Detroit Public Safety Headquarters for this exciting announcement of Project Greenlight Detroit. Project Greenlight is a crime-fighting initiative using technology to increase safety at neighborhood gas stations. And without further ado, I'd like to introduce Chief Craig, and he'll tell you more about this exciting initiative, Project Greenlight. Let's give him a round of applause.
Thank you. Thank you, Todd. And as Todd pointed out, very exciting today. We look at this, it was just 2 years ago. 2 years ago, when we started what I call a baby effort towards a Project Greenlight. Certainly, I want to thank Nasser Bardoon for his leadership. When we came up with this idea, it was very small, certainly looking for a safe haven. But then it grew, and certainly under the leadership of our mayor, Mike Duggan, he looked at and saw an opportunity to really expand this public-private partnership. So here we are today, 2 years later, 8 gas stations. And I will tell you, I'm excited because I think we're poised to do something that's not being done anywhere. Don't hold me to it, close but not. So I was passionate, and I'm continue to be passionate about Real-Time Crime Center. That was something we talked about, trying to get the funding. And so here we are, launched on January 1st, our first iteration of a Real-Time Crime Center. What is that? And this is what it looks like. So we've purchased what we call real-time intelligence consoles, special computer graphics that do a couple of things. So imagine we have 4 consoles, which you'll see soon, that can support anywhere from 1 video image up to 16. And when you look at 16, multiply that by the 4 consoles, you're talking about, at maximum, 64 views. So it's a powerful tool that we're excited, but what makes it even more exciting is the fact that we're now connecting with our business partners. So the commitment that the 8 business owners have made in connecting into our RIC is the investment. They've made the investment to purchase high-quality cameras, lighting, specific bannering, and you'll hear more about that later. So it is exciting. I will tell you, so it's 2 phases that we look at. Real-time crime. What is real-time crime? Well, real-time crime is just what it says. So imagine we get a call into our dispatch center that there's a gas station, that there's a crime in progress. Our real-time crime gets involved, goes to the gas station, sees the criminal activity, and we're able to do a workup in real time and pass that on to the officers who are responding to that call in the field. The second part that's equally exciting, something that I coined virtual patrol, not to be confused with virtual precincts. We all know what a virtual precinct was, but virtual patrol is what I like to consider a force multiplier. This is where, let's say, our crime intelligence unit has done a workup in an area, and they learn that there's a crime trend developing, and so they go to those gas stations, those entities that have the camera at the times where crime's occurring. And already since we launched January 1st, there have been 4 such hits of virtual patrolling where we've seen narcotic activity in progress. So when I tell you exciting, and you look at the fact that we're in lean times, this is an opportunity to go well beyond what we can expect. I don't want to go much more into it. It's exciting, but let's bring forward the person, the mayor of the city of Detroit, who really took this to the next level, Mayor Mike Duggan.
Well, thank you, Chief. The Chief started the Greenlight Project and has been talking about Real-Time Crime Center since he got here. And here's what this is about. The violence level in this city is not acceptable. And the Chief and the men and women in the police department are doing everything that they can. And with the raises that we got through last year and the hiring, we'll have more cops on the street. But if we don't do something differently, we're not going to change the trajectory. And so the Chief and Assistant Chief James White and the team said, what could we do to support our officers with the latest technology? And as we started talking, we said, how many times have you seen on TV, if you recognize this person, call in, and there's such a grainy image, you have no idea. It could be your own brother, and you wouldn't know from that image. And we said, what if we went to some gas stations who volunteered and set a standard that said this, that you light your gas station all the way to the perimeter so bright you can read a magazine. And then you put such high-definition color cameras that we can pick out the license plate, we can pick out faces, even to traffic going by. And if you would do that and put in an internet connection, we'll monitor it real time at police headquarters. Now, as a prosecutor, I can tell you, your chances of getting an arrest and a conviction go up dramatically when you got the person committing the crime on film. It makes the whole prosecution a whole lot easier. And so when we looked at it, you just look at the daily police reports. 20 to 25% of the shootings and the carjackings in this city are at gas stations, Coney's, drive-through restaurants, clubs, and party stores. These are, in this city, too often zones of danger where criminals know that you're going to be stopped and going to be vulnerable. We said, what if we change those zones of danger into zones of safety, where the criminals knew that it is the last place that you want to try to rob somebody because it's going to be captured on film. And so with the help of a lot of our team, including Todd Beddison, also Rich Tao, who was the technical brains of this operation, from my staff, Malak Beydoun, Beth Niblock, and Scott Hayes, and all the technical folks, we reached out to the gas station owners. It's costing them about $6,000 apiece to put this in. They're making a significant investment. It tells you their commitment to the community. And so we're now live on 8 gas stations. But if you have a restaurant, a party store, any business is open after dark, you can go to the city webpage and click on the green light link, because we have the ability in another month or so to start adding 4 new locations a week. And we're going to go in the order that people have signed the memorandum. Every one of these 8 gas station owners has signed a contract with us to keep these cameras working. And every one of them, as you'll see, has beautiful signage that lets everybody know this is a green light gas station, and it's being monitored real time. We have a video that we ran from upstairs, and I know that Alexis is going to hit the button and the video is going to work because our technology support is great. And it's working. Okay, and so it's on that screen right there. And Willie, you may be blocking. You're just too tall to be standing where you are. But I want you to see the visibility. That's what our officers are looking at upstairs in the real-time crime center right now. They can see dozens of screens at once. All right? And this is, I think, Commander Beddison with that awkward parking job right there. Is that you, Todd? Yes. I am so glad you didn't hit that minivan on tape. And so look, you can see the license plate. I mean, how much different is this?
Yeah.
Okay, and they've got look at that. Okay, we've got the ability to see who is involved in what. And so this is a rainy day. This isn't like it's somehow especially clear. I don't know if we know that person or not. but it's a perfectly honest citizen, yeah. All right, and this is the inside.
That's great. That's wonderful.
Isn't it something?
This is what we're going to do across the city.
It's Todd Bates.
All right, there he is on the most wanted list. Looks just like you. This is going to be the new standard of technology in this city. And the other thing is, we've got facial recognition software coming next. We're going to be able, before too long, to match outstanding warrants against these cameras. So this is what it looks like at night. You want to see, does this only work during the day? Take a look. 10 o'clock at night. You can see how bright the lighting is, and that's why this was so critical that we have the lighting standard in addition to the camera standard. But you can see faces, license plates, 10 o'clock at night. And so I hope before this year's over we have between 100 and 200 businesses who have installed this. It's actually already helped us in a couple of cases where we saw things going nearby that didn't even occur at the gas station. And so this was Chief Craig's vision with the whole team here. It's gone to a level that nobody else in the country has done. But I also want to introduce now one of the visionaries who started this, who sponsored the first ordinance in 2014 requiring gas stations to have cameras. And once this works, I hope we're going to come back with another ordinance requiring every business that receives customers after 10 p.m. to light this standard. But the city council leader on this, Councilman Andre Spivey.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. If there's anything we all deserve is safety in our city, particularly gas stations or wherever you go, any time of the day. So in 2014, the council voted and approved an ordinance that I sponsored requiring all gas stations to have cameras at their facilities. Over 300 gas stations were under that ordinance there. And we looked at improving that ordinance, and I had lunch with the mayor, I believe, early last year, and told me what I wanted to do. He said, wait a minute, I think I have something for you. There's a project where we have gas station owners coming voluntarily to come and to have higher quality cameras and lighting, and we see that result today. This is a wonderful public-private partnership. I hope that every single gas station in this city takes on this effort to keep our citizens safe and to keep their customers safe as they go to and fro getting gas. I applaud the chief and I applaud our mayor for working together, and we don't have to come back and approve this ordinance for an amendment. It's voluntarily. So all 8 gas station owners, we thank you for coming forward and saying you'll be part of our growth of our city and keeping us safe. And so today we want you to know that these are just small steps that we're taking, both police, the administration, and city council, to keep our city safe wherever you go, whatever time of day that you go. And so I want to applaud everyone here today, and looking forward to letting people know you can go get gas anytime you want, any time of day, but also be careful when you go. But know that someone's always watching you, as we saw the lady here on the screen as we were looking at Commander Bedison. So this is a wonderful opportunity, and as the chief said, Detroit is on the edge of great innovation. And we may not be the first here, but we're going to be the best to take this on to keep our citizens safe wherever they go in our city of Detroit. So I want to thank you, Chief. Thank you, Mayor, for allowing us to be a part today of the press conference. And now I'll bring forward Mr. Willie Bell, our 4th District Board of Police Commissioner and our Vice Chair. I want you to receive him at this time.
Good afternoon. It is a privilege to represent the Board of Police Commission. We have 2 or 3 commissioners here in the audience. I just want to say that I had the opportunity to speak to the young officers who graduated last Friday on Thursday in the academy class. So even though you think this is tough times, but you are very, very fortunate to join this department at this particular time because the mayor, the chief, and the council, they have the visionary for public safety. And you're going to be on the cutting edge. And I didn't anticipate this happening because we spoke about this about 20 years ago, the technology, and it's here. What I have witnessed briefly, we want to embrace it. When people talk about neighborhoods, we're not doing enough of neighborhood. Well, you need to tell them about this program. This is what neighborhood is all about. They're going to enhance the neighborhood in terms of their safety, the citizens, and our stakeholders. They have put their vested interest in terms of the quality of life for public safety in the city of Detroit. I met one owner in terms of Jefferson off the road. He stated that he now lives in the city of Detroit. So you can see they have a vested interest in terms of moving public safety and moving Detroit. This is a new day. This is the spirit of Detroit. And I just want to thank you for coming out this afternoon. Thank you. This young lady needs no introduction, Barbara McQuaid.
Well, thank you all so much for including me. I really want to applaud the Detroit Police Department and the City of Detroit for their leadership. Since the day Chief Craig arrived, I have not had a conversation with him, and I've had hundreds of conversations with him, when he did not utter the phrase real-time crime center. I didn't know what one was before he came, and he has been pushing it, and I'm so pleased, Chief, to see it come to fruition thanks to your relentless leadership on that issue. And thank you to Mayor Duggan, who begins every conversation with what if. What a great thing to imagine a better reality. What if? And so I'm so delighted with his leadership, too, to imagine a safer Detroit for everybody. And I want to thank all the community members and the city council for putting this together. What a wonderful partnership. You know, at the U.S. Attorney's Office, we prosecute many of the cases that come out of gas stations, carjackings, armed robberies, drug trafficking cases, and as Mayor Duggan said, this just made my job so much easier. We get very substantial penalties for those cases, and if I can have a video of the crime being committed, I've just won my case. But more importantly, once the public knows that these are out there, they see that green light, I am confident it's going to prevent that crime from occurring in the first place, and that is so much better. So this is a wonderful partnership with the community, and I'm so pleased to see Detroit being innovative and embracing this technology to improve the quality of life for the people of Detroit. I am going to turn it over now to one of the leaders from the community, one of the gas station owners, Nasser Beydoun.
Thank you, Barb. Good evening. First of all, I'd like to acknowledge the other business owners here today who bought this vision and stood with us and supported us. I'd like to give them a big round of applause. All the gas station owners from the Tri-County Business Committee. And I want to also acknowledge Ed Deeb, who needs no introduction. And also my fellow board members at the ACRL, Nabi Ayad and Hilal Farhat. Let's give everybody a round of applause. Two years ago, when we came to Chief Craig with this idea of bringing cameras to the neighborhoods, we looked at downtown Detroit and Midtown, and we saw how well cameras helped in reducing crime in those areas. But unfortunately, the neighborhoods don't have an Illich or a Gilbert. So it fell upon us as small business owners to be that catalyst, because for Detroit to be a great city and come back, the neighborhoods have to come back. They have to be safe. Public safety is a right of every citizen in the city of Detroit, and we are honored to be part of it. And as you can see, these are special cameras. We had to do the Bedison test on them. If they can take a picture of Commander Bedison and still operate, they're great cameras. But all kidding aside, this is a great program. It's a great day for the city of Detroit. And we thank everybody, and specifically thank Chief Craig and Mayor Duggan for everything that they've done and their support in this. Without them, this would have never happened. Thank you very much.
And at this point, I'd like to acknowledge and introduce Councilwoman Janae Ayers and invite her for a few words if she would like to say anything. Absolutely.
Well, good evening, everybody. Please excuse my tardiness. We were actually having a public safety meeting, so this is a great thing to come up on. Bottom line, as everybody has already said, what a fantastic day for the city. When we have community partnerships, that is what makes our city great. Those are the things that have sustained our city, and those are the things that are going to take us to higher heights. And so, again, I thank the mayor, I thank our gas station owners, and I thank Chief Craig for their diligence. And we all just continue to work together, and that is what is going to propel Detroit to higher heights. Thank you.
And now we're going to hear a few words from Alice Thompson from Black Family Development. And I just also like to thank the community who's in the room as well. Radio Patrol volunteers, Mushin Muhammad, Coach, just all of my community folks who support DPD every day. You can see them in the room, and they've been wanting and waiting for Project Greenlight to get enhanced. And like Mayor Duggan said, he put it on steroids. Ms. Alice Thompson.
Thank you so much. Well, Project Greenlight is good news. No, Project Greenlight is great news. And not just for our police fighting efforts, but it's great news for our community. In the work that we do every day in partnership, we're working to make sure that safety remains a key component of Detroit's growth and development. And we have to admit that feeling safe and being safe are key quality of life indicators. And so I'm happy about the Green Light Initiative. I'm particularly happy about those that are around our high schools or our elementary school, because our students frequent the gas stations in their neighborhood, and they are key businesses, not just for gas. For many families, it's to go and get household products, personal items, for food items. They need to feel safe in the gas stations. It's good business to feel safe. And so I'm happy to be a part of all that we're doing here to keep Detroit safe, to have you as partners doing that. And so as we think about Project Greenlight, think about this. It's going to improve the feeling of safety for our residents and the perception of safety. So as we move on with Project Greenlight, we should celebrate it, we should support it, we should expand it, because it's going to help us all say, I'm not going across 8 Mile to get gas anymore. I can get gas in my own neighborhood and feel safe about doing that, yes. And so thank you, Chief, thank you, our Mayor, for Project Greenlight. It is a great initiative to help us all feel safe and keep safe. It's a quality of life issue for Detroit. Thank you. I have a partner in the room, and it's Eric Ford from Detroit 300, who will come next. Eric?
Thank you. Me as president of Detroit 300, we was getting a little tired of the things, the carjackings, everything going on. So I said, let's be proactive, and I came with something called Operation Safe Gas, where we were going to gas stations on Thursdays and Tuesdays, and from like 6 to 9 or 7 to 10, we would call Commander Bettison to get informed the precincts that we would be in their area. Detroit 300 Vice President Mr. Blue, I would have him call channel 2, 4, and 7 to let them know we'll be in their community. First, we would set up a perimeter around the gas station, and then we were extended 2 blocks. Afterwards, we would inform businesses in the area that we're down at the gas station in case anything they need help about anything. This will allow us to spend more time allow the police to spend more time in hot areas. Excuse me, I'm not used to just speaking this like this. My executive, Arthur Edge, worked closely with Building Safety Engineering Business License Division. So we stopped in the gas station. We were stopping the loose cigarettes, the loosies, and all that because he's worked with these people. Everything is teamwork. Everyone coming together. Remember, the police, the people, the politicians. Thank you.
And at this time, we'll hear a voice from the faith-based community as I invite Bishop Darrell Harris to the podium.
Good evening to everyone. We want to thank everyone for coming out, and I am grateful to be here on this platform. My name is Bishop Darrell Harris, and I am the senior pastor of the Total Life Christian Ministries, which is in the area of one of the gas stations in which have been helped. I'm also working with a program now called Ceasefire, and we are pulling together faith-based leaders and clergy from all around to try to play our part in assisting these efforts and making our city a safer place. Some years ago, I was carjacked at a gas station myself. Would have made the situation in the case a lot better had that lighting been a lot better, had there been actually working video cameras. They had them up, but they did not work. And so, fortunately, on my case, the situation turned that the persons who committed the crime were caught, but it was not because of any of the help that could come from the gas stations. So please understand that I am very grateful for this Green Light project, seeing it move forward. I know that it's going to work, and I can now get my parishioners to come back to church on Sundays because they don't have to be afraid of running out of gas in the city of Detroit. And so it's going to feel wonderful, and I am pledging everything that I have with every connection and relationship to other faith-based leaders in this city that I have to play our part in helping to make this city safer and in pushing forward more of this Green Light project as it relates to public safety. So thank you, Mr. Mayor, thank you, Chief, thank all of you for your efforts, and we look forward to a safer Detroit.